Greetings, fellow targeted individuals. Jesus was a targeted individual. He was someone which had to flee for his safety, and his brothers went against him. He was targeted, and he knew that if he was not careful, he could get killed because the enemy was using psychological operations against him. They were slandering him. They were saying that he was this, he's that, he's a demon pretty much. And they wanted this man dead. So when you're a target, you're going to experience betrayal. You're going to experience perhaps job loss, divorces, paying child support. You're going to be placed in a situation, if you're not careful, you could find yourself in bondage. Because instead of these people lifting you up, they want to bring you down. They're not here to uplift you. Why do you think the CIA utilizes the Citizens Corps programs? I utilized a private investigator which discovered that these people were harassing me in stores with the full support of sheriffs working with the Citizens on Patrol program. They were using even Israelis. Civic groups, radical feminists, Lions Club, Rotary Club, Freemasons, Kwanzas, school teachers, city employees, public works in Austin, even here in Florida, I have videos. This is state by state. And these people are vicious, some of these groups. So your Citizens Corps programs, like in Texas, you cannot find many of their offices because they work behind a regional council, like the Texas Association of Regional Councils. And guess who their main stakeholder was when I was there? The Daughters of the Confederacy, which was listed as a hate group at one time, but was unlisted as a hate group because they decided they would allow black people to join. And there was still resentment from members when this was occurring. There were still rumors that they were not treating them very good. So a lot of these groups will have historical clubs, gardening clubs, women's groups, and many of these are fronts. While these groups are doing these things like gardening, some of these groups may have select members which can be utilized for other stuff to help raise money for these groups and also so these people can get a little salary on the side. There are some groups which are earning a salary. Some of it, this money could be very insignificant. It can be $1,000 a month. For some, it can be $200 or $300 for one skit, to literally whistle in your face, to do something to annoy you. I've had it where people have told me they've been paid $200 to whistle in my face, or to take a picture of me close to my face while eating. And that's to annoy you. That's to aggravate you, to make you feel like you're being disrespected systematically. If you're a targeted individual and you've experienced harassment by the Citizens Corps programs, your Department of Homeland Security State Committee, which is ran by your representatives, they're not going to help you because they work with them. Citizens Corps is a non-governmental agency. And this one group that I mentioned, the Daughters of the Confederacy, this group has a headquarters which resembles a Masonic lodge. And what happened is when the Masonic, when the KKK started going downwards in membership, they went into the Masonic lodges. And that is why you may discover that there's a lot of people that are in positions of trust in these hate groups. Now, I have nothing against them. When I grew up, I'm Puerto Rican, I lived in a very racist area. And my best friend, his dad was in the KKK. But this kid wasn't racist. And since I had blonde hair when I was a kid, they didn't suspect that I would have been Latino because I was very white complected back then, not now. So I have nothing against any of these groups, but I do not support their causes. Even though I'm a conservative, I'm not a racist person. So you may notice that when you move or you travel to different states, you're harassed. And if you're a target, let's say you made some mistakes, you fell into some sins, you got out of it, and your targeting stopped. Well, you're just targeted perhaps on a local and state level. But if you're a target which is harassed in every state you move to for like 27 years, well, your chances are very high of being targeted by a federal agency. That's typically what it is 100% of the time. like the CIA, FBI, different groups. And what they'll do is they will keep this activity secret and they won't say nothing. Police will not help you. And you're on your own. So in this type of situation, it's not a hopeless situation, but your life will be toxic, similar to what Jesus went through. He had a toxic life for a period when he was targeted. He would have been perceived as being toxic. He had to flee for his safety. I'm sure that his disciples feared for their lives at times. So, do not place your faith in the CIA or FBI to help you with this. They're not going to help you. Your county attorney, they're not going to help you. I've hired private investigators in the past to even monitor some of these people on their free time. It's not cheap. I recently got out of debt just for hiring private investigators. And they discovered many different interesting things about some of these people and their activities, groups they associate with, their things they like to do. Many of these people are just regular Joes, but they're taking the word of a federal agency or going along with their Masonic lodge to conceal this stuff. When you go to the FBI, you should never go and visit them without having something that will empower you to record discreetly, like a DVR camera pen, DVR camera watch, a hat, belt buckle, shirt with a button. You want to be recording because these people will not help you. And when you have proof, they say, we're not going to help you. And then you go to your state attorney and you have proof saying that they're not going to help you. Your county attorney, state by state. Then that's when you can show people a pattern that cannot be denied. So you don't have to worry about being made to look as if you're the bad guy. Because if you're doing something wrong, somebody should come and talk to you. But if you're not doing nothing wrong and someone has to harass you, you know what that means? Is that they have nothing on you. Think about that. If someone has to harass you in your neighborhood, and they have to use some trash that has served in the army, that's violating their oath to defend America from enemies, both foreign and domestic. And they have to go into neighborhoods. And they have to bring a bunch of garbage to harass you. And I'm not calling them the army garbage. My grandfather served. Those that do this, I am. If they have to utilize corrupt sheriffs, police chiefs, scumbag cops that are doing this to people, and I'm not calling cops scumbags either, just the ones doing this. They have to utilize such type of people to do this, to try to provoke you. And they wouldn't do this to other people, then that tells you a lot about the people you're dealing with. Think about it, TIs. Think about this for a second. If you're showing proof on the internet that you've been threatened, that you've received death threats, and you've been harassed state by state, and nothing has been done, think really hard. Who are the terror threats? God bless and peace.